There's a catastrophe looming, and it's vibe coded. Think about it. AI lets you crank out code faster than ever, turning non-coders into developers overnight. But what if the speed is building a house of cards ready to collapse under massive technical debt, security holes, and unmaintainable messes? In this video, I'll break down why vibe coding is a double-edged sword that's already causing real-world disasters, backed by fresh 2025 studies and developer warnings. You'll get eye-opening examples, including multi-million-dollar breaches, plus a simple framework to harness AI without the fallout. As a bonus, I'll share how top engineers are turning the tide, blending vibes with rigor to build sustainability. First, let's cut through the hype. Vibe coding promises miracles, but it's stacking up invisible risks faster than you can type a prompt. Coined by AI expert Andre Karpathy, vibe coding is that code first, understand later rush where you describe an idea to tools like GitHub Copilot or ChatGPT, and they spit out working code, often with minimal tweaks. This prompt and pray method enables developers to produce entire functions or modules without deeply understanding the generated code, which is why startups are boasting they can build multi-million-dollar products with tiny teams in months. And it's why 25% of all new code bases are now 95% AI generated. Even Microsoft's CEO says much of their code is AI written, tempting leaders with labor savings and warp speed development. But here's the brutal truth. This digital quicksand is full of flaws that will very likely explode later, like a credit card bill you forgot about, but instead of just one bill, it's 1,000, and all coming due at the same time to threaten the stability of your company. As Santiago, a prominent computer scientist on X, put it, every vibe coder is now generating as much technical debt as 10 regular developers in half the time. We'll need 3 generations of developers to clean the mess. We are all becoming rich for sure. Now, I'll explain this nightmare. This house of cards known as technical debt is the future rework cost of shortcuts, which AI excels at. Get Clear, the software engineering intelligence platform, ran a 2024 to 2025 analysis of 211 million lines of code that shows an 800% spike in duplicated code from AI tools, bloating maintenance by repeating patterns instead of reusing smartly. It's economic waste. The vibe coding mindset, which prioritizes speed above all, fosters a false sense of security and often leads developers to neglect fundamental security practices like code reviews and proper testing. Teams spend more time actually untangling this mess than they are on innovation. Is this hyperbole? No. A Journal of Systems and Software study of 53 AI professionals found high severity debt like jumbled architectures, which absolutely slashes security and understandability. As McKinsey reported in their study on generative AI in developer productivity, initial speed gains evaporate as debt widens velocity gaps. It's like vibe coders are printing money with a counterfeit machine. Feels great until the Feds show up. And while that technical debt is a problem, it's not the worst of it. The true nightmare is that AI-generated code is dangerously vulnerable, with some studies finding that 45% to over 70% of it contains security flaws. The Veracode 2025 Gen AI Code Security Report is a massive wake-up call. They tested over 100 different AI models on 80 different tasks and found that an alarming 45% of code introduced a critical OWASP top 10 flaw. These aren't minor bugs. They're the most serious web application security risks, with issues like cross-site scripting showing up in 86% of the samples. Java failed 72% of the time, while even Python and JavaScript were vulnerable in over 1/3 of cases. This is a catastrophe in the making. AI isn't really learning. It's just replicating insecure patterns from its training data, from places like Stack Overflow. This leads to code with no input validation, outdated libraries, and a black box bias that's impossible to debug. And this isn't just a theory, it's a reality. Attackers are already in the wild exploiting this copy and paste at scale mentality, which is why insurers are now hiking premiums for heavy AI users without proper audits. And while it's easy to dismiss these warnings as just theory, the real world blowups are already here, showing vibe coding's dark side in action. A payment gateway vibe coded with AI approved $2 million in fraudulent transactions due to inadequate input validation. AI copied an insecure pattern any human would have flagged. Another real-world story comes from a small SaaS startup that epitomizes vibe coding's trade-offs. The AI-built app leaked user data, had Stripe keys stolen, and faced cross-site scripting attacks. Hackers called it Swiss cheese, and all turned up to the party with a bottle of red to enjoy the feast. Fintech companies grapple with irreproducible reproducible models. E-commerce pipelines break from duplicated logic. Healthcare risks patient safety with drifting AI. Startups like those using Cursor prototype fast but hit production walls, needing rewrites for scalability. The paradox? Speed creates fragility that halts progress. AI lacks structure. High cyclomatic complexity, inconsistent naming, no docs, and repetitive logic. A 2025 Reuters study found experienced developers were 19% slower with AI due to having to make fixes, and only 44% of the code was usable unmodified. Vibe coding is creating a generation of juniors who have become pseudo-developers that are so reliant on AI they've never learned the fundamentals. The result? A knowledge gap so vast it's a ticking time bomb for any company that hires them. Teams run in circles, debugging instead of innovating. ThoughtWorks' 2025 analysis on coding assistance showed AI speeds up delivery by only 10 to 15% on average, not the claimed 50%, due to issues like unreliable suggestions and increased debugging time. And seasoned developers are sounding the alarm on social media and seeing job security in the cleanup. On X, pros are calling AI code soulless slop, unreadable debt, and saying there's just problems coming later. As one developer put it, AI fumbles complex work and creates a total mess. This is why top teams are now creating mandates to get ahead of the problem. While using AI for boilerplate code is fine, a human still needs to do the design and planning. The fundamentals haven't changed. Planning still matters most. On the flip side, a reckoning is coming. An analysis by Judith Juncker estimates that with current AI coding trends, the global economy could accumulate over $1.5 trillion of technical debt by 2027, predicting a market correction with collapses, rewrites, and premium hires for digital janitors. Forrester research predicts that by 2026, 75% of technology decision makers will be grappling with moderate to severe technical debt in their software portfolios. Forward thinkers are already adding additional reviews, tests, and limits on AI in critical systems. The winners will be those blending AI with oversight, because the problem isn't just technical, it's a human one. We've already become too reliant on AI, which is why human oversight and accountability are more critical now than ever before. If you found this helpful so far, hit subscribe. I post weekly videos turning AI pitfalls into business advantages. And if it stops delivering, unsubscribe anytime, no hard feelings. Now, here's how you avoid the catastrophe. This is your dead simple 5-step framework for safe AI coding. Step 1, accelerate, don't replace. Prompt for ideas and boilerplate code, but design and review it yourself. Step 2, enforce guardrails, rigorous code reviews, unit tests, and static code analysis on all AI output. Step 3, quantify your debt. Track duplication, complexity metrics, and refactor proactively. Step 4, build a hybrid team. Pair any vibe coders or juniors using AI with seniors for oversight, and be sure to train them on the fundamentals. And step 5, prioritize security. Scan for OWASP flaws, avoid using outdated patterns, and use tools like Veracode Fix and Snike to automate code analysis. With this framework, your risks are minimal. You're no longer taking shortcuts, you're turning them into sustainable gains. If you want to dive deeper into how agile teams are using these strategies, check out my video on bottom-up innovation. All the links for the Veracode report, free resources, and a strategy call to audit your codebase are in the description below. In the AI era, winners don't replace expertise, they amplify it. If you hesitate on oversight, your codebase will quickly become a liability that competitors can easily exploit. If you found this useful, chances are a colleague needs the warning too. Share this video and let's avert the vibe-coded crisis together.